You're welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily on City TV. Time now, to go into our communities and look at some pressing issues that need our attention and that of authorities as well. Today we are in the northern part of Ghana. Don't forget that yesterday we spoke about the Bimbala Hospital and all the issues that come with the healthcare delivery from that part of Ghana. We are still in the northern part of Ghana. We are in the northern region, and the issue of maternal mortality, is quite present in this part of the country, and it really requires our attention. We are now moving to the Tamale Teaching Hospital to look at the rate of maternal mortality. What are the figures like? What is happening? What are we doing, to arrest this challenge? My colleague Dinah Ngwan has put a report together. We'll take a look at it. When we finish, we will have a conversation.
Goal 3 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals is targeting a drop in global maternal mortality ratio to 70 per 100,000 live births by 2030. To attain this goal, member countries are expected to put in place the right systems to facilitate the achievement of the goal. However, some health facilities in the country are struggling to provide quality services to pregnant women who report with life-threatening complications. Statistics at the Tamale Teaching Hospital indicate the facility recorded 57 maternal deaths in 2021 against 49 deaths in 2020. Hypertension topped the list with 24 deaths, with hemorrhage, sickle cell disease, and acute kidney injury killing 7, 6, and 3 mothers respectively. The Director of Medical Affairs of TTH, Dr. Adam Atiku, who spoke to the media on the sidelines of its annual performance review meeting, noted that most of the cases were late referrals from other facilities.
The key thing is that this suggests that our referral system is working, but then the referrals were late. So most of them came in a very critical condition, and at that point, there was nothing much we could do. To help us reduce the maternal mortality this coming year, we are seeking to work with the Ghana Health Service to strengthen the referral system so that the patients can refer early to us. Secondly, if you look at the top 10 causes of maternal deaths, you realize that most of them are medical conditions in pregnancy, hypertension, kidney problems, and these conditions need support services to help the mothers. These support services come in terms of ICU equipment and then dialysis machines. And these machines are usually very expensive when we don't have them in the hospital, or what we have is woefully inadequate. And even the ones that we have, most patients are not able to afford. So when patients come and they need dialysis, by the time the family will rush around and get the support, the money for the dialysis, it will have been late. So we are also appealing that they add the dialysis for acute cases, especially in the obstetrics, to be covered by the National Health Insurance. That will help us a lot.
Speaking of the theme, Reengineering TTH Healthcare, Landscape for Quality Tertiary Service Provision and Medical Tourism, the acting CEO of the hospital, Dr. Karim Mumuni, emphasized the need to re-engineer the systems and structures in order to improve healthcare delivery as well as boost revenue mobilization.
I wish to remind us all once again that excellence, simply put, means superior and outstanding, and demands sophisticated, cutting-edge infrastructure, diagnostic, therapeutic, and hepatitis services such as MRI, CT scan, endoscopy, laparoscopy, just to mention a few. This also demands specialization and subspecialization of human resource skill mix across all levels of care. Then the obvious implication of excellence, therefore, is the continuous availability of required and appropriate mix of resources, both material and human. The first part of our statement reads, to provide quality and affordable health care. As it is with the quest of excellence, the big question that begs to be answered is, how do we finance quality? The answer lies in how ingenious we become as a facility in engineering our systems and structures to become more creative innovative in our revenue mobilization activity.
All right, so that's a report there by our colleague Diana Ingwon is of the Tamale Hospital and maternal mortality rates and the situation that we have there. I just think that, generally speaking, we need to be more aggressive in terms of our dealing with some of these challenges. Of course, I mean, if you look at what the doctor was saying, talking about the fact that a lot of them are from our referrals, right? Which means that the mothers have gone to other hospitals before, only that the referrals were late. So by the time they got there, and if you know the way the north of Ghana is set up, distances are quite far apart, you know. And of course, because the hospitals are also not that many, you know, we have CHIPS compound, we have small hospitals, then we have, you know, larger, and then the referral, the main one is the Tamale Teaching Hospital. If you're not coming directly to the Tamale Teaching Hospital, you're going to another place first to discover the complication before you refer them, then this is a challenge that we have. We don't really have much of a choice about
Of course,
this.
and I mean, people can't just walk into the general hospitals like that. You know, you have to be referred. Now, the issue is how well equipped are these clinics and these kind of health facilities before they get to their referral hospitals. Now, even at the referral hospitals, what is the state of affairs at the general hospitals? You know,
look at the conversation we were having about Bimbilla yesterday, right? I mean, Bimbilla Hospital itself, they've built a new maternity block and everything else, but they are having issues with setting it up in terms of equipment, in terms of setting it up fully to full capacity. Then the neonatal, you know,
the
unit
NICU
is also
an issue
not
as
is
well.
an issue,
you know, and with pregnancy, I mean, all kinds of factors play a role. So it can be as a result of anything and everything. And that is why pregnant women need that special attention. And even right after delivery, they need these kind of attention as well. So if we don't really have a hospital that is working in full capacity, anything, you know, from anywhere can be an obstruction to quality healthcare delivery. And I think that these are some of the things that we really need to pay attention to. Otherwise, we're just running around in circles.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, our colleague Duke Mensah-Opoku has joined us in the studio here. Duke, morning, how are you?
Morning, I'm well.
You good?
Yeah, I'm well.
Okay, great. Your thoughts, you know, initial thoughts on this situation that's happening in Tamale?
I think it's sad, first of all. It's sad that upon all the issues that afflict the northern part of our country, from impoverishment to lack of social amenities to lack of educational opportunities to even lack of access to things that would make them do well in what they do very best, which is, animal husbandry, farming, and the rest. There's still another problem of, maternal mortality. It's a big problem. I mean, it's not something that is one-off. It starts right from even when there's pregnancy, access to antenatal care. What kind of medical care do these people have access to? Right to the point of delivery. Is it to the traditional birth attendants? Are they getting to hospitals? How do we even have these traditional birth attendants around? How well are these people even trained? What is the distance between their homes and the hospitals? Where
the quality of road infrastructure. Do they have ambulances? You know, means of transport. If you have pregnant women being carried on motorbikes, you know, what do you think is really going to happen?
I've even seen Aboboya ambulances. You know, Motor King ambulances, where, you know, with all this undulating surface of roads and stuff, and if there's somebody in labor and you put that person in a Motor King or in an Aboboya and it's shaking all over. I mean, what kind of impact is it going to have? Is it going to have on the child?
And this is before they go to the first point of call, which is their local community, either CHIPS compound or hospital. This is not even to go to a Tamale teaching hospital. This
Yeah.
is just the local
The
one
cheap one.
first.
Exactly.
Before
you know,
they get referred.
and my
you know.
worry is before someone is given a referral,
Yeah.
it means that they are dealing with
Something
certain
that is above-
huge
yeah,
issues
yeah.
above their local hospitals. You know,
Capacity,
now
yeah.
how are they transported? Because if we have an emergency, you know, how do we deal with? Do they have access to proper vehicles, you know,
Yeah.
to even take them through? You know that you just don't sit in an
I mean, the
ambulance
ambulances
as in we are in an
per
ambulance.
district, isn't it? So
Yeah,
there's
and
one per
almost every
district.
constituency has.
Every
Constituency has an ambulance. now.
Okay.
Yeah, but
but
if
then
you-
what does that even mean?
But there are even
Because-
there are even problems with that, because just in January this year there was a sad incident of a pregnant woman.
Okay.
A pregnant woman who died in Shama in the Western region. I was there with the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health to visit the family and also to look at the facility, where ambulance officials were demanding money for fuel and per diems before they transport the pregnant woman from the Holy Child Hospital in Shama to Kolebu. And the woman, after dilly-dallying, and the man, a teacher, poor teacher, I mean, beginning of month, from he was able to go through and scrape 600 cedis for over 3 hours. And this is a woman who needed critical care. The 3 hours from Takra,
they would have been in town
they would have
already.
close to Accra,
Accra.
but the man had to spend almost 3 hours scraping. He was able to scrape to get 600 cedis. And I mean, the saddest part of it is that when they got to somewhere around Cape Coast and the woman died, the driver and the paramedics were playing around with the time the woman died, that they are going to stake lottery with it. In the presence of how callous can people get?
No,
And
but
so-
you know, it also goes to, I mean, it brings the question out, who do we recruit
Yeah,
for what?
yeah.
You get
So
it? So
it's-
it's not an
it's-
issue of somebody needs a job, they can drive a vehicle,
Yeah.
you know. I think that people really need to understand. So for instance, if you are driving a bullion van, what does that mean? If you are driving an ambulance, what does that mean? If you are driving a trotro, what does that mean?
But I mean, how heartless can you get? There's somebody who needs critical care.
Yeah,
and
but-
you are talking
yeah,
about
but
the
you see,
fact
people's
that...
Yeah, but
orientation
that's
is
exactly, is exactly what we're talking about. I mean, he has come to the job because all they're looking for is anything that will bring money.
exactly.
With that mindset, Duke, they will do anything.
But at least
they don't care.
you are human. Be empathetic.
No.
Be sympathetic. Somebody's wife has just
No, you are talking
died.
from a
The person
place-
is around, and you are talking about going to
Yes.
stay.
You have your sanity
That's
intact.
you.
You have
That's
your sanity
you.
How
intact.
callous can people get?
People get up. They are going to work. They have all kinds of ideas running through their minds, you know. And for me, it looks like we've seen it over and over and
Yeah.
over again. I mean, when
Yeah,
we
they're
visit
used to
our
it, so they don't
hospitals these
care.
days, nurses, I'm sorry, but some health practitioners, you know, they are not moved by people dying.
No,
because
no.
they
Well,
see
because-
it
no,
every
yes,
day.
you get numbed,
They
you get
be-
numbed.
so this
Yeah,
is nothing
it's nothing
strange.
new.
You get numbed by that experience,
It's just
but
an issue
It's
of
painful for
they-
you, but not for them. They don't care.
Anyway, so it's a big problem on that side, even
Yeah.
with the ambulance. As at now, we are in the thing happened in January. We are in March. We've not heard about any drastic measures or anything that has been, whether those people have been interdicted. What is the ambulance service doing about it? What is the update? And what most importantly, what would prevent all of that? Because they said there was no fuel in the ambulance. That's why they couldn't move. Are they building network with? I don't know why as at now the National Ambulance Service does not have some sort of a partnership with GOIL.
Yeah, it makes
Because
perfect
GOIL
sense.
is the state oil company,
Yeah.
petroleum company. So even if you go and take that from GOIL, it's the same government. If a National Ambulance Service goes to take fuel from the Ghana Oil Company or GOIL, that shouldn't be a problem at all. And we are talking about critical care, we are talking about emergency care. So this happened in Western region, which is supposed to be far opened up, which is supposed to be now attracting a lot of investment because of the oil and gas enclave that is being developing there. The government is developing a close to, I think, a $5 billion petroleum hub in that region. A lot of people complain every now and then that life is getting expensive there because of the coming into town of the oil companies and the rest. So, and this is a part of the country which has seen a sort of enlightenment. Now compare that, not to disrespect our brothers and sisters from the 5 regions of the north, but we know the development gap, how it widens as you move up from Kumasi and Tampo, you go up. You see how different
it is.
I mean, we just came back from the Heritage Caravan, and you saw it. You saw it at first hand.
Yes.
So with all the problems there, I mean, the joy of birth the joy of motherhood, the joy that brings to families. We shouldn't also be taking that away.
Now, when you even look at the number of huge billboards and stuff like that of politicians in that area, you can put the money together and give them a chips compound. You know, no, because I think that we have to begin to look at some of these things. You know, you were talking about an ambulance driver, Onyenipa, but if I see my MP, you know, mounting huge billboards, I also think about my life, you know, because it looks like people just care about being in power, you know, and what would benefit them. And if this is what we are selling to the people, everybody feels that my life is in my hand, my survival is in my hand. So I'm looking at what I can also do for myself and my immediate family. You know, I always say that in this country, it looks like the key areas that we need to focus on are not our priority. Health, security, education. You know, these are people that we leave them to do whatever they want to do. We always chastise security officers, you know, taking bribe, 1 city, what would that do for you? 5 cities, which are quite not. But look at where they live. They also have children. You know, some of these people are protecting our leaders. They see the kind of lives that you live. The least they can do is also solicit little funds. I'm not, you know, saying that is the right thing to do. But if you really want to put a stop to these things, we also need to look at the kind of I mean, lives we give these people. You can't tell somebody that if armed robbers are coming, you should be at the forefront, you know, take bullet for the nation. But if that person is not there, what happens to their family? You know, what kind of welfare packages do we even have? So if I'm no longer there, what happens to my wife? What happens to my husband? What happens to my children? These are things that we need to look at. You see some health officials trying to help, you know. Sometimes you ask yourself, now why is this nurse still here? Because there's nothing going on. We've seen reports of hospitals that do not have water, that do not have personnel, they do not have electricity.
Well, the doctors even have to pay out of pocket to help.
I have
doing?
quite a few nurse friends who tell me that that's what they do.
There's a problem. There's a serious problem with the health sector. I mean, we thought that COVID would have shocked us back to life and reality, and to, you know, help us model our health system in such a way that we'll keep it tough and keep it very resilient. Of course, out of COVID, we've seen a national emergency, a national disease control center that has been built by the ingenuity of private people.
Exactly.
They put together resources. Senyo Hosi and Co. Together with the military, they built that wonderful facility in I think Abokobi, Ga East. Wonderful facility. So that's what we're expecting. So we're happy when this whole Agenda 111 thing was brought on stream. As it is now, we don't know how it is going. Just recently, we heard that one media house filed a right to information request to the health ministry, and the response was that the health ministry does not have information about it. Whether they were being sarcastic, whether they were being downright disrespectful to them, we don't know about it. But we think that it's one thing that can really, if we do this Agenda 111 and do it very well and do it in a manner that, in a timeless manner, it's something that can really save, you know, the health sector of the country. Back to the issue in the north, it's a serious problem, but we know that we need a hybrid, a mix of solutions. What happened to the traditional birth attendants? Because they used to be very effective in times past. They would move around, check on these people, and then they have at least the basic training to be able to safely deliver women in such areas. Have we thrown that system also away?
Are they not the ones who man the CHIPS compounds?
No, CHIPS compounds are supposed to have, trained health assistants, physical health assistants are supposed to be there. But these traditional birth attendants, they use a mixture of modern methods and traditional methods, and they are trained in a way. So I think that we need to go back to that system, especially in the part of the country where we have a lot of, and it's sad, a lot of health professionals do not want to go to those places.
But you do blame them?
Well, in an era where the GES wants to charge, not GES, the finance ministry wants GES to charge teachers rent for their bungalows.
Exactly.
You know, what form of incentivization would people now need to go to such underserved areas in the country? So it's a big problem, but I think that we need that solution first, if not for anything at all. Let's get around. Let's get these people who have such long tradition in their families, who have seen that, who saw their grandmothers do it, who saw their mothers do it. Train these people, at least 1 or 2 people in a village, and add that scientific method, the cleanliness, the correct procedures, add that to what the traditional wisdom that they have already, you know, because we know that before the coming into on stream of the white man's medicine, there were certain things that our people could do and do very well. So add a bit of that to what they know and train them and let them do some of these things. In addition to that, then we can look at expanding the facilities in such places. Otherwise, it will go down south and it will go down further and further and further, and it will be a big problem for us.
You know, for me, I think that, I mean, in all this, our maintenance culture, you know, we always talk about these things. We put up facilities, we just leave them to rot in some years' time. Then we come back, we need to raise another budget to do all these kind of stuff. Look, we really need to put our minds to some of these things. As a people, you know, our general attitude towards some pressing issues in this country is extremely poor, you know. And that is how come we keep having that wide gap between the rich and the poor, you know, and you realize that. So I always come back to when we had COVID, you realize that we lost some high-profile personalities because the airports were closed. We were all forced to patronize our local health facilities. And we saw what happened. I mean, some of the people, I'm sorry, but some of them wouldn't have died if the airports were open.
No, I agree with
because
you.
they had the means to travel outside the country. But this is how
I
other
remember
people...
there was even one, he was kind of high up in the military. So I mean, he died on his way out of the country, because they could use the military facilities to be able to take the person out. But unfortunately, the person died on their way out of the country. So,
sadly, you know. But other people have developed their health sector, and then you carry our money and you patronize these hospitals. You know?
Spending it here.
So let us upgrade our facilities. Let's make sure that they are working properly. What does it take? You know, sometimes when you look at a hospital doesn't have water, they don't have electricity. Why? What does it take?
And every, I mean, not every Ghanaian woman is hardworking, but the women from the north are very, very hardworking. Very hardworking. If you see how them working on their share butter industry, if they see them.
It's like very a woman coming from the south, but you stand back
very hardworking,
and you admire
very
them,
hardworking,
you know,
and very dogged, very strong women.
Children, carrying load on bicycles, moving,
motorbikes.
They are not resting.
Yes.
You know?
So please, that is the least we can do to help them subsist and to move on.
You know,
There's
sometimes
something needs to be done
it
about
is
this.
sad that the people who literally use their muscles to work are the ones who are extremely poor, you know, in this country. It's so sad. No motivation at all, no incentives. People just work, they just get up, and I mean, to them, we have to do something. They are doing it, but they don't even know what is going to happen the next day. You know, I mean, security issues, health issues. I think that we haven't really done so well, you know, to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor, you know, the north and the south. And I think that it's about time that we pay attention to these people. Bimbala Hospital was one. I mean, you fix the maternal unit, you don't fix the NICU.
No.
So then what are we doing?
Point?
So the woman gives birth, she's at the ward, we don't even have a proper facility for the new baby to be. What happens if these babies need incubators? What happens if they are preterm babies?
About how many incubators are in the country? There are some solutions that sound outlandish in this country.
But they actually have,
and that is how come when lights go off and they come on, we are all jubilating. Hey,
we are so used to mediocrity. You know, it's not even funny. I think, at least I'm saying that if we don't have the money to go for the high hanging fruits, let's look at the low hanging fruits. Let's look at the traditional birth attendants and roll out a program that can get them to do what they have to do to salvage the situation. It cannot be going up. Maternal mortality cannot be going, and all that goes in, because reducing maternal mortality was part of the Millennium Development Goals. It's part of the Sustainable Development Goals. So it's something that, and if we do it well, and we package things very well, it's something we can attract a lot of donor funding to support.
Of course.
But people are there sleeping on their jobs and every man taking salaries and they are not doing what they are supposed to do. So please, it's a wake-up call to the Ministry of Health and to the Regional Health Directorates. Please do as much as you can. And for me, this traditional birth attendant thing is very important. Collaborate with the universities in the north. UDS has so many campuses. Collaborate with those campuses. Let these women get some form of training. Equip them so that they can fill in that gap while we look for proper funding to fix the proper facilities. So that in the meantime, we won't be losing people. It's not the best. It's sad. One life loss is one too many.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a short break. Breakfast Daily will continue. Don't go anywhere. And if you live up north, any of the 5 northern regions, and you have some of these experiences you can share with us, just send us a WhatsApp message, 0550-585832 is our WhatsApp line. Ago.
My name is Nadidi. If you are looking for quality and authentic mobile phones and accessories, look no further than Franco Trading Enterprise. Franco Trading Enterprise deals in products such as iPhones, Samsung, Nokia, and all kinds of phones. We have accessories like hard drive, Bluetooth speakers, pen drive, and all kinds of phone accessories. We also deal in all brands of laptops. We are open for wholesales and retails. Franco Trading Enterprise, the home of quality mobile phones and accessories.
Franco Trading Enterprise, we have branches all over Ghana. You can also download Franco Trading app on Google Play Store.
This year, I will plan my finances. This year, I will not waste money. This year, I will start investing small for me and my family's future peace of mind. This year, no, it will be because...
It go be is not a plan, oh.
Financial independence is possible. Think smart, invest now. Call EDC now on 0302-634-165 or send a WhatsApp to 0595-235-065 to get started on an investment plan today. Alternatively, visit any Ecobank branch or sign up online at ecobank.com/SWAM. EDC Investment Limited, a member of the Ecobank Group.
Whatever the occasion, with ATL, you can never be out of style. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
Everybody, clap your hands, everybody.
It's happening live.
Everybody. Hey.
Harvest International Ministries presents Harvest Praise 2022, dubbed the Choral Edition. Come and experience exhilarating ministrations by the host choir, the Evergreen Harvest Gospel Choir.
The Lord watches.
Multiple award winner and champion of the World Choir Games, Harmonious Chorale. Also multiple award winner Bethel Revival Choir. Harvest Praise 2022 will specially feature Reverend Pajo Markwe and Pastor Edwin Datson. Don't miss yet another life-transforming, spirit-filled and captivating performance by the Harvest Theatre. It's happening live and in person on Good Friday, 15th April 2022 at the Fantasy Dome Trade Fair, La Accra, 4 p.m. prompt. Buy your tickets now. Single, 60 Ghana cedis. Double, 110 Ghana cedis. Triple, 160 Ghana cedis. And VIP, 100 Ghana cedis. Dial short code *725*1155#. Tickets also available at Airport Shell, Bachano Total, Sunny FM, and all Harvest Chapel branches. And note, all COVID protocols shall strictly be observed. Get your praise on!
Everybody, clap your hands together.
Ago. All right, welcome back. It's still Breakfast Daily, and the show is interactive. Hashtag Breakfast Daily, and also hashtag Heritage Month on City. Now, WhatsApp line is 0550585832. If you have any comments you want to share with us, any thoughts on the conversation that we're having here in the studio, kindly use the WhatsApp line to send us those messages. Now, we're talking the economy next, and as we said earlier in the show, you know, a lot of challenges that we've been going through, looking at fuel price hikes, it's disturbing everybody. Even if you don't buy fuel, it will disturb you because it's a ripple effect one way or another. And then, of course, the city has been doing some kind of like an avalanche roll down the hill, you know, a downhill roll. And the president has been speaking on, you know, the finance minister coming to arrest the situation. Of course, they were in Peduase Lodge and they had a crunch meeting to discuss as cabinet what it is they can do to arrest the situation and revive the economy. Let's take a look at these reports and we'll come back and delve into the conversations.
The Akufo-Addo government has come under intense fire following what many say is the harsh economic conditions currently prevailing in the country. Hike in fuel prices, depreciation of the cedi, and general economic hardship dominates discussions in the country. The retreat, which will be chaired by President Akufo-Addo, will deliberate on what government seeks to do to mitigate the plight of Ghanaians in the face of economic hardship. The controversial e-levy, which is yet to be passed by Parliament, will also be discussed at the retreat. Though government has rejected the idea of seeking a bailout from the IMF, sources at the Jubilee House say it will be tabled for discussion at the retreat. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has on several occasions rejected the idea of going to the IMF for a bailout.
We are not going to the IMF. Whatever we do, we are not. The consequences are there. We are a proud nation. We have the resources. We have the capacity. Don't let anybody tell you. Like when Joshua, Caleb, and the 10 others went to spy on the promised land. And only 2 of them came to say that we can do it. And the 10 went around the community murmuring, you can't, da 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 da. We are not people of short sight, you know. Then we have to move on, okay? So let's think of us as who we are, a proud, strong people, the shining star of Africa, and we have the capacity to do what we want to do. If only we can speak that one language and ensure that we burden share in the issues ahead.
Government communicators and appointees have blamed the coronavirus pandemic for the harsh economic conditions the country is facing, saying it has thrown government projections out of gear. But the World Bank Country Director, Pierre-Franck Laporte, at a public event recently, said government should not hide behind the coronavirus pandemic for its poor management of the economy. He says government should tell Ghanaians the truth.
Yes, I welcome all of you once again to the seat of the presidency of our country, to Jubilee House. Fortunately for me, you're not strangers here, and it's good that you've taken this initiative to come and visit to talk about matters affecting the public weal. It's your constitutional mandate, and I'm happy that it's being so exercised. I think we had agreed in the past that we would find the occasion to have these regular interactions, and I see this as a continuation of that attitude for this year. It is no secret that our economy is going through difficult times. It is also no secret that we're not alone in that exercise. The many of the phenomena that we're facing are phenomena that are apparent in many other parts of the world as well. But that doesn't therefore mean that government is impotent in trying to find solutions. Our retreat to which you referred was in some ways quite timely because as a general rule, we have 4 retreats every year on a quarterly basis. And this is the first one for this year. Fortunately for us, it coincided with these difficulties and with the public anxiety about the way that the economy was going. And it gave us, therefore, the opportunity over 3 days to look in depth about where the economy was headed and what measures were necessary to be taken. Some parts of it apparently have already gone before the country. But the decision was that the Minister for Finance, on my instructions, is going to have a major engagement with the nation on Thursday, where he is going to be in a position to lay out specifically the measures that we have taken, that we intend to take to correct as it were, put the ship of state on a better keel. And to that extent, I think it will be better, at least as far as the public intention is concerned, that we await the decision of the Council of State, of the Minister for Finance.
All right. Well, you heard our president.
Yeah.
Duke.
I think the Minister of Finance is going to be very busy today. He has a number of questions, over 10 questions in Parliament to answer this morning. Then after that, at 1 p.m., he has to address the nation. I think for the highlight for many people is the fuel prices. What is going to be done about the fuel prices? Is government going to scrap some of the taxes? If they scrap some of the taxes, what is the cumulative effect? What is it going to be on the fuel price? It's now selling around 9 cedis. Is it going to, are we going to?
No, almost 10.
Well, nine. So diesel, so 9.9.
Diesel is 10.
Diesel is over 10. Even some people are saying the OMCs who want plenty profit, they are selling their diesel at 11 cities.
Oh, but so, people.
Those people.
That's the empathy that Duke has been talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Business does not, the Pope has nothing to do with business. Anyway, so I think that I think altogether, I heard someone do the calculations, altogether the taxes on our fuel is about almost 2 cedis. Yeah, so if government, in the unlikely event, decides to scrap all the taxes, which they won't do, if you take all of that out, that would be like 7 cedis. Yeah. But I don't think they will do that. So maybe 1 cedi at most. Even that would be amount to like taking 3 of the taxes off. So let's see what the finance minister would announce and its likely impact. I think that over the past, 2-3 days, the Bank of Ghana, I don't know the period, but they're supposed to inject some 2 billion into the markets to calm the cedi. Look at bringing down. But I don't know how. I don't know how sustainable.
Much of an impact.
I don't know how sustainable.
I
don't know how sustainable that is. For me, the long-term solution, one of the big solutions, I was telling Koku last week, is for us to get our refinery working, because this problem has primarily been occasioned by the 18% increment to the 10 and 11 cities. It's because our city is doing badly. And if we are refining the products here, you wouldn't need FX to bring in the fuel, because that one we are producing the fuel here and we are refining here. So you're not going to spend money to bring in the finished products. So
basically, it boils down to wastage and mismanagement.
Yes. So we need to get TOR up and running. That is what will solve this problem for now.
You know. So David and Duke, I mean, all we are waiting for as Ghanaians is the kind of difficulties we are in. How do we bring this down? I mean, we have to feel whatever English I come to speak today. We have to feel the impact, in our pockets, and there should be some kind of respite, some kind of relief that we will enjoy. Because the way things are moving, we are just still in the first quarter. You know, we don't know how things are going to be when we get to the middle and
end of the year. With all this year, raging Russia, Ukraine. Well, this morning I heard international news that NATO is meeting today in Brussels to find out how they can support Ukraine, not how to resolve the issue.
Talks are far.
Not on how to meet.
But does it look like there's going to be some kind of resolution?
Because if it keeps going on like this,
you can't negotiate.
If it keeps on going like this,
the posturing of
Russia will be
Putin.
hit with more sanctions.
Yes,
and the issues, the economic situation will keep escalating. They can't push their fuel. You know, they do a lot of oil production. They can't push it, and then it will become scarce, and the Gulf and the others will be cashing in, and the price will be going up, and we are the ones who will be suffering it. So please, and one more thing, one last thing, please, if today, per the numbers are worked out, and the finance minister decides to reduce the price of fuel, we beg the transport operators they should let it reflect. We beg them.
Well,
they like that. When the thing goes up, no, they will start.
But they are
agitating.
taking cues from their
the same
leaders.
thing.
They are taking cues from their leaders.
They will start agitating. When the thing comes down,
reducing. Do we see that impact or other?
We should see the same thing from government.
Exactly.
$130 per barrel. It's come to
so
less
if you're not
than
reducing fuel and fuel products,
we have not seen
you can't.
But that's why we have deregulation.
Please.
Anyway, by the end of today, we have to know what the ordinary Ghanaian is going to be enjoying.
The land borders too will be open. I don't know if the minister will talk about that, but
they
will be open in 2 weeks.
Because they raised
it will be open in 2 weeks. But I think that the frontiers, they should start doing something about airports.
They should start
backing up. They should start doing something.
There are too many issues, in this. Anyway, Honorable Kenofre-Atta,
people will lose their jobs. I know a friend of mine works there. She will lose her job.
But we should look at the bigger picture.
It's for the greater good.
For God and country. If you go and sit at home.
Frontiers is not the permanent arrangement.
Well, other people have gone home through no fault of theirs, because there has to be some financial system.
Listen.
I mean, clean up. So unfortunately,
my friend will lose their job, but I think it's for the greater good.
That's why you are his friend.